Hey.
Hey.
So I'm Dara and
Kamal.
And we are going to talk about how we met. Well, how we got together. Because we met a very long time ago. And I'm sure there are those who know us, both of us, because we come from the same town, who are wondering, how did that happen? And a lot of times we wonder that ourselves. How did this happen? So figured it'd be cool to talk about how we got together.
It's time.
Okay. So you want to tell your side first, or you want me to tell my side?
You go ahead.
Because, mine is the truth.
Oh!
So
you picked a man with falsehood?
No, I'm just saying that, I have, I think, a clearer perspective on how this whole thing happened.
Hey, keep it up. I'm gonna have one of those, what they call them? Malfunctions.
You gonna freeze? No, you gotta do the, while stuff is going. Okay, so I'm gonna go back so people
Back in
know.
the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Shot
back.
in the dice.
I'm gonna take it back.
Just begun.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
So,
Sorry.
all right, so we are from the same town, Teaneck, New Jersey, and we grew up on the same street when we lived there. I'm gonna say we grew up in Teaneck.
How many yards away from each other?
Our houses were across the street.
I'd say
from each
20
other.
yards.
Okay, that's about
Diagonal.
a give and take. Well, let's say, when I looked out of my bedroom window, I could see his house, and probably vice versa.
Yes.
So that's how close we were up to, in as far as proximity and distance. And of course, we knew each other, but there was never any interest or anything. He was friends with my brother. He was good friends with my brother Shep. And so I always saw him as my brother's friend. I wasn't interested in him. I was like, oh, it's my older brother. I didn't pay his friends no mind. But, we knew each other, and I always thought he was a nice guy. Matter of fact, I had this impression of him of being so sweet and innocent and just the nicest guy. But I didn't like him anything like that. I just thought he was a really nice guy. My family would be at the local diner eating breakfast.
Golden Grill?
Yeah, them. And he'd come in, or come through and say, oh, hi, with this smile here. You see it? Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Atkinson. How are y'all today? Lovely weather we're having, type thing. And I'd be like, oh, he's so nice, or whatever. And I always had a good feeling about him, but never was there ever an attraction. Never did we ever date, or even eat. It was nothing, like absolutely nothing between us. So, we lived our lives, whatever. We went to the same high school again. He was my brother's age, I'm younger. And, that was that. There was a time eventually I left. I don't know who left Teaneck first.
Probably you. I was there for a while.
Yeah, probably me. I left first.
And
I moved and we
90.
lived. Oh, yeah, I've been gone. We had lived our lives, whatever. I was with my children's father. We had 2 children, lived life in a whole different realm. He was married for, we were married for
31 years.
31 years until unfortunately she passed. They had a son. That whole time, we did not communicate. We did not speak. I don't even think we even thought of each other.
They made a little bit of Instagram, Facebook.
I mean, other than social media,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
somebody. We were social media friends, but it was like, oh, cool, hey, you know.
And shout out to, well, I'll say shout right now, you can say, shout out to Diane, rest in peace.
Shout out to Diane, Lady Di.
Respect due.
Respect, much respect. So, going through life or whatever. I was married previously. My husband passed, so I was a widow. You know, and then unfortunately his wife passed. So I don't know, one day I was going through my social media and I had a message and it was from him. And I was happy to hear from him because, you know, it was like somebody I grew up with. I kind of felt like he was family almost because he was my brother's friend, you know? And it was like, oh, cool. And he was like, could I call you? Or something like that's what you said. He asked to call me or something like that. And at first I was like, sure, great. You know, I thought it was cool. Like, yo, find out how the homie doing? How you doing? And whatever. But then I noticed he was liking a lot of my pictures. And at that point, I told one of my best friends, I was like, oh no, he's liking my pictures. Usually that means something. But at the time, I had dealt with not a slew, because I haven't had a lot of men in my life, but the ones I had, woo. But it was where I was at the time. I was at the point where I was done. I was like, it's just gonna be me, it's gonna be my dog, and we just gonna ride it out. And so when he sent me the DM, I was like, you know, at first I didn't think nothing. Like I said, I was happy. But then when I saw he was liking my pictures, I felt like, oh, because I did not want to end up feeling about him the way I felt about my exes, because with him, we went back in time so far. You know, he was like family. I didn't ever want to have a negative thought about him. So when I realized, oh, he might be, you know, checking for something else, I said to my friend, you know, I'm gonna have to tell him because I'm really not interested in a relationship right now. I'm trying to heal. I'm healing. I'm trying to get myself together, doing my thing. You know. So I didn't want to get into another relationship at the time. So I said I'm gonna have to tell him this because it's important that he knows this. But I want to present it in a way that he doesn't feel like I'm just like, oh, ew. So I had already sent my phone number through the message. So I was like, oh shit, I can't pull it back now. Well, you know, it's cool. Call my son, know what's going on with him. Anywho, as I'm rambling. So I told him when we did speak, and I just wanted to make it clear, you know, you know, we went back, we cool and all that, but I'm just here to tell you that, you know, I'm not trying to get in a relationship. You know, I've been through some things. I'm healing. I'm elevating myself, trying to get myself together. You know, I'm trying to, you know, work on some things. So I'm just really not in the space to where I could be in a relationship. You know, we cool. We could be friends. We cool. You know, I can't, you know, one like you. So after I said all that, you know, I felt good. Like, I felt like, okay, we had an understanding that this ain't gonna be nothing but a friendship. So at that point, I felt comfortable for us to be friends. So we started speaking on the phone every day. All day. FaceTime. And it just continued and it continued. And I came to find out, oh, we got a lot in common. We like a lot of the same things. We think alike on the same things. We have a lot of the same views and stuff. And then I always thought he was attractive, but you know, I started, and he kind of cute. So I called that same friend, and I was like, girl, yo, I don't know what's happening, but on liking this guy. But I told him I don't want to be in no relationship, and I meant that. I don't want nothing. But yo, he different. So she was like, well, hey, go for it, do you, go for it. And I was like, and I don't, his wife passed, and I don't want to be a rebound for that. I understand what that feels like because my husband passed, and you need time to heal from that. And I don't want to get in it. And then I get hurt because he realized that, I was just a filler or something like that. And, not purposely or whatever, but, that was the potential for that. But I found myself starting to like him. And then eventually, and this was pretty soon on, I was like, yo, I think he might be the one. Because I never connected with anyone like this before, the way I did with him. And so, we started dating. And the phone calls kept going on. He would come down, he was living in Jersey still. And at that time I was in Atlanta, and he started coming to visit. And I think I went to Jersey. He flew me in. And so, that's how it happened. We started dating, and then we fell in love, and we are now married.
You said you wanted to do what? With who?
Huh?
You wanted to
To what?
Marry.
To marry you?
You brought that up first.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. We were going to be married. I knew because when I realized that he was the one, there was no way I was just letting that go. Because he was just so different from any and everybody I dealt with before. And I was like, oh, this is a good one right here. I'm not going to fuck this up. So, yeah. So what's your side of it?
All right, here we go. You know what I mean? So, my wife, 31 years passed, and
rest in power,
rest
Lady
in peace,
Di.
Diane. I was at that time when the whole family was coming through the house, and I knew sooner or later all that was going to stop. And then I'm basically in the house by myself with my son, or he's going to school. He still decided to go on campus in Jersey and come back on the weekends.
He was a freshman in college.
Yeah, so it was lonely. And I knew it was going to get like that. So I wanted a friend, so.
With benefits.
Anyway. So, I'm on the internet looking around for people that might have something in common. And I remembered I would see her with her job on. When I was married, it wasn't looking at her that way, but it was just like, oh, wow.
I used to be full hijabi.
Yeah, Muslim.
I used to do that, yeah.
So, and I'm into Islam, and I always wanted a woman who was West Indian.
Yeah, man.
She from St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, man.
African.
My family.
Or from the South. Now, or from the hood. But I just felt that from my experiences that that family structure that we talk about was there in the African homes, most of the time West Indian homes and the Southern homes, because I used to go down south every summer as a kid. And so I didn't want a sister that was like, I'm getting off the subject, but, say I'm hungry and she'd be like, I'm hungry and she'd be like, I call it microwave chicken. You got thought something that's not microwave, I don't feel like cooking tonight, so I ain't want one of them, that's all. I ain't want no hood rat, that's all. I could have had a bougie rat, but not a hood rat, Anyway, all right. So,
You wanted a gangster. A gangster. No, go ahead.
So, my son, this is very important. My son, who just lost his mom, he came up to me like a day or two after, maybe 3, maybe 4. I don't remember. A lot of stuff was a blur, but he said, "Dad, I want you to have a woman, someone there for you, someone you could love, and I want one too." And I said, "Oh." So my son pretty much gave me the green light because I never would want to do nothing to hurt him. But I mean, sooner or later, I still got needs, But he said it before I could say it. And so I'm looking for a friend, basically. And I always wanted to ask her about, like, yo, how'd you become Muslim? Because, we lived in Teaneck, and there wasn't too many Muslims there. There was a lot of upper middle class and middle class, types.
Let's clarify Black Muslims.
Yes. So, I was like, oh, how did this happen? Like, I was very interested in knowing her story, and
Is that all you wanted to know?
could you let me finish for me? So I'm looking through her page, Facebook primarily, and Instagram, and I said, oh my God, she went to Ghana. I said, I want to ask her about that. And then I seen in Ghana, she was dancing. She looked kind of nice dancing. They was drumming, and she was dancing. I was like, okay. And then I saw she was like, she was knitting, making stuff and selling it. Entrepreneur, I like that too. That's a turn on for me. A woman that's an entrepreneur. So I'm like, okay, I got to know. I said, wait a minute now, let me look for a man. Because she Muslim, female Muslims got a husband. And I don't see no man in these pictures.
My husband had passed.
And yeah, I found out her husband passed. So I went, just, pick me up. I want to talk to you. And then she called me, and I told her, I said, looking for a friend, no rush, no. If it becomes something, it becomes something. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I already did it something with someone. You could be a friend, but that's it. Because I just came out of something, and my husband passed, and I was like,
that is not
and
what
I said, you know what, God? I'm just going to throw my hands up, surrender. I ain't trying to talk to no more women because I can't take this right now. This is a bit much. And I was surprised because she's this Teaneck chick. Teaneck bougie, you know what I'm saying? Collegiate and all of that, corporate and sweet and cool and well-groomed and all of that. And she, I said, oh, what happened to her? I said, okay. She got a little bitter. So I was like, okay, and I gave up. I could walk, in my mind, I was just walking away from it. I did not expect her to call me anymore. And then she started calling, FaceTiming, because she had that situation where she could FaceTime. And we talking on the phone every day for like 12 hours or something. 8 hours at least.
The conversation would just flow.
Yeah. And found out, though, we was both born in New York City. She was born in New York, I was born in Harlem. We both lived in the Bronx. We both moved to Teaneck, New Jersey, across the bridge from the city. Then, me and her brother was friends. And she loves hip hop. I love hip hop. She can rap. I can rap. She can dance. I can dance a little bit. And we into Islam and metaphysics and positive thinking and entrepreneurship and just like so many, almost anything I can name. Like, she knows the lyrics to all the songs. She listens to Rock the Bells in the car. I'm like, what? This is good. Like, this is excellent. Oh, she said she's cute. Beautiful. Yeah, I like dreads too. You know what I'm saying? One day I'm gonna get dreads when I get older. Probably when I'm about 110 or 90 or something like this. Let it all dreadlock Rastafari, I get old. But, oh yeah, she's St. Thomas, my grandfather from Trinidad. You know what I mean? My sister-in-law is from Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like the West Indian all around, like we say, the late wife was Barbados. And so her brother-in-law, he. So anyway, you know, I got my West Indian, I got my hip hop, I got my Bronx woman, all wrapped up in one, you know. So anyway, excuse me, I digress. I went somewhere. Okay, so yeah, so we started taking the flight. Oh, first, you know, I had to send her some flowers.
Yeah, he sent me flowers. Was not expecting it. In one of our conversations, he just asked me my address, and I was like, yeah, I live in such and such and such and such, and just went on about it. I didn't think nothing of it till I got flowers one day. I didn't even think the flowers came from me. I thought they was for my mother. I walked past them like 3 times, and she was like, you got flowers there. I was like, huh? And I looked, and then it just made me smile. Like, wow.
Then I sent you, did I send you a Tommy products?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, the health products.
You sent me some Him.
Yeah, from my multi-level marketing company. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tommy, Him. And then I made a song.
He made me a song.
A neo soul spoken word song.
It's the most beautiful song.
It's called Love Open the Door. Oh, thank you for Love Open the Door. Before, y'all can find that online or all online stores, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, platforms. Love Open the Door by Kamal Imani. Okay, so. Ooh, my mouth dry. I should have got that water, baby. Yeah. It's okay. We good. We good. So, yeah, and yeah, I was originally getting ready to. I needed to move south. I wanted to move south for a very long time. Like I said, I used to go as a kid down south, North Carolina, Virginia, especially North Carolina, and I loved the South. And me and my son and my brother-in-law was gonna move to Atlanta. Atlanta changed from when I was there in the early '90s, so I was like, nah. But then she was in the outskirts of Atlanta, and
so he was coming down to visit often.
So yeah, originally I was just going to Atlanta. That's before me and her started talking, and therefore then so she was there. I thought about it, but then we ended up in Florida because she has some family here. Long story short, all right.
So in all that time we got together, we decided to move with each other, and we ended up moving here to Florida, into this beautiful house.
She wanted to marry me in like weeks, and I was like, look, we're going to slow down.
No, I knew in weeks.
She did. I was like, how do you know? But yeah, she wanted to get married. So you wanted to get, you knew in weeks. She wanted to get married in like months.
Yeah, because once I knew, I was like,
but after that first reaction, when she told me off and yelled at me, I was like,
I did not tell you
what happened?
Yell at you.
I was like, what? I said, are you sure? I said, well, let's expand this for a few more months so we get to know each other, make sure there's certain things that ain't gonna piss each other off. Just make sure we see our dislikes and, you know, which we did start finding out. You know, little things, and we were very good communicators.
Very good communicators.
You know, so most of the time we don't laugh and stuff that we started off serious about. So, you know, or apologizing really quickly, but most of the time it's laughter. And oh yeah, she's into yoga and health and nutrition, and you know, that's just big for me. I like that. I like that stuff.
And I like that you two were into spirituality, because one thing that really struck me, and I never felt like I could have this conversation with someone, because I've dated Muslim men before, and not dated, excuse me, we don't date, had conversations with in terms of possibly dating, and it just never clicked. And at the time, I was kind of not questioning my faith, but questioning my choice of religion, because I wasn't born Muslim. It was a choice of mine to take the Shahada. And there was some conflict that I had. I was able to discuss that with him, and he understood. He understood in a way that was so deep, and I appreciated it so much, because we had similar upbringing, and he understood where I was coming from, and he was able to talk me through that. And I just thought that was amazing, because there were feelings that I had and questions that I had that I didn't feel like I was able to discuss with anybody until him. He got what I was saying. And that was huge for me. That was huge for me, because spirituality is important to me. And I didn't want to be with someone who was so dogmatic that I could not ask and question and talk about. And it was him. It was him. And that was part of the conversations we got. We got really, really deep conversations. Really, really deep conversations. Really soulful. Really, exposing a lot of. We were very vulnerable with each other.
Yes.
We were very vulnerable.
And transparent. She was transparent.
Very transparent.
Woo. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not grown up that much yet.
Because when I realized that he was the one, I wanted him to know everything about me. And I wanted him to not only know everything about me, but hear about me from me. I didn't want, not that anyone would have anything negative to say about me. I don't know. I don't think I have enemies. I don't think so. Not like I care. But I didn't want it to be a situation of, well, Kamal, I heard, that's it, and I heard, and I was like, if he gonna hear anything, he's gonna hear it from me first. So I just made that decision that I was going to be completely, totally honest and open with him about everything. And I spoke to him about people I dated, people I dated recently, just everything. And he was kind of like, whoa, whoa. I was expecting to hear all that.
Moonwalk out of this moment.
But I didn't want there to be anything that you didn't know about me, I want you to know me. I want you to know who I was. Because I didn't want us to go any distance and then you find something. Not like I have this huge checkered past or anything, I ain't no mass murderer or crazy shit like that. But I wanted you to know my journey and hear it from
and
me.
I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I ain't talking my dirt. I'm only playing.
But you were so sweet and innocent. You didn't have any time.
Of course.
Come to find out, this was a hellion back in the day.
Thou'th over here. I didn't know what you mean.
I had no idea of the shenanigans that was going on across the street at his house.
You mean up in the attic, dropping mathematics, preparing static, packing automatics, shocking cribs, supplying.
Lord. Crazy thing, I'd never been inside his house. We lived across the street. I used to be friends with his sister. His little sister is my age. And we were cool. And we even hung out a little bit. But I never set foot inside his house. I had been on his porch. But for whatever reason, I've never been in your house. So I have no knowledge of the attic. I have no knowledge of any of those shenanigans.
The attic was a famous
I guess, Allah saw fit to protect my innocence at that age. My delicate innocence was not ready for what was going on in that attic.
I wanted to plead the fifth at this point and let you keep talking. Thank you. Good.
But anyway, long story short, here we are. And I am madly in love with this man. It's like the best thing in the world. He's my best friend. We laugh. And the other thing is, I'm gonna get emotional.
Oh, shoot. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
But this is the first man who supported me 110%. I can cry with him. I can laugh with him. I can be myself, 100% myself. And I tell him all the time that now the love songs make sense. I didn't believe that this type of love existed. Even though I had been married before, I didn't believe this was possible or even real. You know, it's been amazing. It's been amazing for me. Almost forgot we was on camera. But yeah, so here we are. I know a lot of people were wondering, especially in Tina, like, how that happened? Was they cheating back in the day? When he was married, was Dar cheating with him? Was it? Well, what about? I know they used to live across the street from each other. It's been absolutely nothing.
Ain't nothing but God. Ain't nothing but God.
It ain't nothing but
the
God.
Most High.
This relationship has strengthened my faith because I would, if it was left to my devices, this wouldn't have happened. Because my first thought was push away. Push away. And like I always tell him, when I told him I wasn't trying to be in a relationship, I said it with my chest. I meant it. I don't know what happened after that. I don't know what happened. I think that he was doing rituals and spells to, you know, bring me along to his side, and I guess they worked. But all jokes aside, it was nothing but God. It was nothing but God brought us together. Nothing but Allah did this.
That's real. Because people used to say God worked in mysterious ways, and I thought that was corny. And now I'm like, God worked in mysterious ways. Because 2 years ago, even like we say when we was teenagers and stuff, somebody would have said we was gonna be together in the future. We was like, what? Oh, let me tell my side. She said she ain't pay me no attention. She ain't pay me no attention. I ain't pay her no attention neither. Because I had my girly Popeye and my girlfriend or friends or something like that. But and she used to see me walking the street with my girlfriend. I ain't say no names.
I'll say the name.
Nah, don't say her name.
Shout out to you. You know who you are.
We used to be and her was still friends, and all of a sudden she just and that's before us.
And I was cool with her.
I don't got time for that.
I thought y'all was cute. Walking down the street, holding hands and smiling and all of that. Nothing like that. Go Kamal with his girlfriend.
So, what was I going to say? Yeah, but I always try to have I don't say always, I'm going to say 95% of the time, I tried to be in a committed relationship, even in high school and stuff like that. So my relationships like 2 years, 3 years, a year and a half, things like that.
And same with me. That's interesting because I've always been in, like, you know, my baby daddy. I was with him from the time I was like 12 until 30.
Wow, 12 to 30?
Something like that.
God.
Good Lord, I admitted that on camera.
Hey, it's your life.
Yeah, it is what it is. We had 2 boys. And I got three beautiful grandchildren now. So.
Yes. So, yeah, I wasn't paying her no mind at all. Because she was always over there with him, doing her thing with him. I said, that's dead when you young people over there. You know, when you a couple years older than somebody back then, you thought he was way older. Like that. There was so much stuff happening on our block. There was so much drama inside people's houses, up and down the street, that I had enough drama in my house to be worried about what's going on across the street. And I had my girlfriend, so I was like, and plus she was my friend's sister, so I really didn't think about it. You know what I mean? So I ain't paying no mind either. Respect, you know. If somebody mess with her, me and the boys, me and the guards, we would beat them down, but, you know.
And I think one of the cool things, and I've said this to you before, that I really appreciate about us is that because we grew up on the same street, we have some of the same, like, close friends.
Yeah.
Like, we have separate friendships with the same person.
Well, let's shout out Bilal.
What's up,
And we're
Bilal?
gonna shout out Janine Ellis.
What's up, Janine?
We can shout out Kim Williams and Sheree and the Williams family.
All of them.
Young family. Shay, who else we know?
But we know the same people, pretty much.
JC the barber.
So when we're talking about something, it's cool when you can reference something from your past and the person knows who you're talking about.
Oh, shoot me. Billy from Hackensack. What's up? All right.
What up, Bill?
Booty. What's up, Booty?
What up, Booty?
What's up, Big Brown? Born. We gonna keep going.
Big.
We can go
Right,
forever.
we can go
You're
forever.
right. We can go forever.
We can go forever because we know the same people.
Brigitte, yeah, we can go forever. We can go forever.
And so,
Erica Williams. And her man.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
we all went to high school and stuff together and grew up in the same town, went to the same parties and in the same football games. And
Let me say that part.
What?
What I don't understand is how we was in the same clubs and we didn't know it. Or we was in there the same. I don't know. We was at the rink,
go to the
I
same
think
places.
the Roxy. You know, I mean, we was just running around. I was at the Ray Parry and she was at, where else? Where was you at?
I used to go to Laguna.
Yeah, I didn't go to Latin Port. I was up with the Ray Parry and I went to Roxy. We went to the tunnel.
The tunnel,
So we had the
yes,
tunnel, like stuff
yes.
like that.
And the clubs in Jersey.
Yeah, the Zanzibar,
and,
Sensation.
And I was a Club 88 girl. I loved that spot.
And I was
Back
Club
then.
80 from Hackensack.
But
Wait, one more
and we
thing.
love club music.
Yes, we love house music.
Love house
We
music.
started.
Love house music.
And the block parties, though. Tina got Stuyvesant, Voorhees, Bad Buzzer. Block parties. How we didn't see each other at the block parties? And she would have came to my house. That's all I gotta say.
That's what I say.
Yeah, you
I
stayed on that porch.
protected
Yeah,
my
you sure
innocence.
was protected.
Protecting my
You'd
innocence.
have been tried. Well, not if I had a girl, though. See, that's how you probably got over. If I didn't have a girl at the time.
But I love my baby.
Yep. So I guess that's the story in a nutshell.
So if you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them or, shout out to T-Net. Okay?
Yeah, T-Mac, shout out BX,
BX.
Bergen County,
T-Mac,
Hackensack,
Bergen County.
Inglewood, Patterson.
Patterson.
You know, we do North,
North, East Orange.
Shout out to hip hop. I will say this.
Hip hop.
For the young ones, y'all don't know. We was at the origin of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm proud of that. I thank God for
right.
that. And in Jersey, some of the first rappers in northern New Jersey, you know, Sugar Hill was right there in Inglewood, walking distance from Teaneck. We know Sugar Hill, we know Leland. Peace, shout out to Leland, Robinson, all of that, man. Minnie the Bar.
You know what's funny? We all got kids and grandkids now. That trips me out sometimes. But I see people on Facebook. You know, Facebook is. I keep Facebook to keep in track with people because otherwise I wouldn't. But it's funny for me to now see we are grandparents.
And we hip
A lot
hop.
of us, and we still hip hop.
And I love how we gotta be the coolest grandparents that ever lived. Like you talk about the whole hip hop generation. Like that's what.
And don't play with us because we still, we throw them things still.
We came out here to Florida strip saying relax. Everybody tell me to relax. I was like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at, though? What's up? What's up? You don't want to fight you. Nobody want to fight
Let
you.
that go. I had to tell her nobody want to fight you.
That's why I
here.
kind of don't want to go up north now. Put my guard down a little bit. Go up north and they be like, tear me up. No, you won't. No, you won't. Not for these streets.
No, you won't. But yeah, that's how we got together. And we got married April 5th of this year. We had a beach wedding. It was beautiful. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
So, what's
Loved
that?
it. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay. Y'all let us know. So now you know because we still trying to figure it out.
Right? Sometimes it's funny. We'll look at each other and be like, I'll look at him and be like, damn, that's Kamal. And he'll look at me like, that's Dara from across the street.
So we be like, if we feel like that, we know other people are like, what? How that happened?
Look, that's Shepard's sister.
Yeah.
That's little Shep.
That's
How that
Kim's
happened?
brother.
That's
Kim and
Kim's big
Tiffany's
brother. That's Kim and Tiffany's big brother. And here we are.
Shout out to Rob Golson.
Shout out, Rob. How you
I
doing,
forgot we gonna be
Rob?
like Stevie Wonder with the credits like everybody said.
Right.
We ain't gonna never
There's
shut
too
up.
many
Music
people
gonna come
that we
on.
know in common
Yeah.
that I'm sure are happy for us.
Well, not everybody.
Then whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
I'm sure there's haters.
That's
but
the, I'm living my best life.
we could.
Ain't going back and forth with you.
Oh.
All right, we out.
We out.
Peace, love, happiness, Assalamu alaikum, all that good stuff. Hatap,
Salam.
namaste.